Okay. So yin yoga, this is a something that so many people, I've had so many, you see so many classes, I'm sure you guys have been to classes that it's a teacher that's not a yin teacher, a yoga teacher, and just going, oh, today we'll do a bit of yin, and it involves lots of blocks, lots of props. That's actually props and you know, things to hold people up. There's a difference between yin yoga and restorative yoga. So restorative yoga is when you use lots of props. Restorative yoga is you know, it's basically restoring you and healing you and using props to get you to where you should be. Yin, everyone assumes that you're using props as yin. Yin, actually, you're not really supposed to use props. You're meant to use gravity. So, and it's not about getting into that position. It's about being okay with where you're at. So if you're used to doing your busy flowy class, it can feel, you know, I know the first time a few years ago when I first did a yin class, it was quite horrific because I'm used to being like, oh my God, how long do I have to lie here for? But actually, it's about, this is a great way of trying to harness your mind. So the great thing about this, it's almost like, here we go again with the paradoxes in yoga. I've been teaching you, as much as I've been saying it's not about its form, it's about the function. And so this is where yin is about the function and not about the form. But I am really very much about, you should have, you know, some sort of alignment to keep your body safe. With yin, you have to let go of that concept. It's about, doesn't matter what your shape is, get to your edge. Once you've found that edge, it shouldn't be sore, you let go. But it probably won't feel comfortable. So this is the great thing about yin, and the fact that, again, as I was saying yesterday, our attitude and how we are on the mat, it teaches us what we're like off the mat. So it teaches us to let go. It teaches us to be okay with where we're at. And life can be uncomfortable. So this is the thing, you're going to be in poses. Because I'm going to be, some of you might not have done so much yin before, I'm going to do like a beginner's, because sometimes the poses are held for 5 minutes. So you're meant to, so in a beginner's class, it's 3 minutes. And 3 minutes is a long time for each pose. You know, so that's what we're going to do. And so if you see me, like, I've got my watch on, but sometimes you'll see a yin teacher looking at their phone, and it's not, that's because they're timing it, you know, so they know each side is. So 3 minutes seems a long time, but that's in order for you to get into the juiciness of it all. So I'm going to read you a little bit about what is yin yoga, and in the sense that it's definitely not restorative. You should start, yin is a bit like, you know, ashtanga, in the sense that you should start healthy or fit. People assume that you go to yin if you're injured. Well, it's not really, because it's not supposed to restore you. That's restorative yoga. If you do have an injury, it's about being mindful and move into a position that makes you feel comfortable. Well, not comfortable, so there's no pain. So, you know, about the alignment, see if you're in Eka Para Raja Kapotanasana, you know, that a lot of, you know, the alignment Nazis of yoga will tell you should have try and get your leg out this way. But with yin, it's saying, right, okay, if that feels more comfortable for you, do it here. It's the same with, is your hips off the ground? That's okay. Is your shoulders off the ground? That's okay. Do you want to lift your arm up? Do you want to bend your elbow? That's okay. But once you've made that decision of where you are, where your edge is, stay there. That's the thing. So there's rules to yin in the sense that come to your edge, and you're not having any controlled breaths. There's no ujjayi breathing. This is something that I find difficult. So I was in a strong pose and I'm doing my ujjayi and they're going, no, just normal breath. Let go of the breath. You're not controlling the breath either. So it's not about alignment. You're connecting to your breath, but you're not controlling it. It's about letting go. Being okay with the discomfort. Now, what's the difference between discomfort and pain? If it's painful, you need to move, you need to come out of it. And it's not cheating if you feel you need to put blocks or cushions underneath you. You know, do that if you feel you have to, if there is something that's shouting at you. It's not like there's going to be yin police coming to get you. But the difference between pain and discomfort is discomfort's kind of generalized, it's throughout. Pain tends to be in a specific place. You know, if it's a knee thing, your knee's going, that's pain, so move. If it's going, wow, this isn't good, and it's all around the knee area, that's quite juicy and it's good for your joints. So this is the difference between yin yoga and the yoga, you know, that we practice, like hatha yoga. So hatha yoga and you know, the various different other kind of types where you're moving, you're doing dynamic and you're doing dynamic as well as static. That's to really stretch and strengthen the muscles and working. But yin is about working with the connective tissues and the joints. Okay, so there's a difference. It's about opening up and getting to there. So I'm just going to read a little bit about what yin yoga is, because this isn't a yin yoga teacher training. This is just you getting lots of different types of yoga so you have an understanding of it. So yin yoga has the same goals and objectives as any other school of yoga. Another thing is with yin yoga we use, instead of nadis, it's the Chinese meridians. So there's a lot of Chinese medicine involved, and today's practice will probably try and work with the lower meridians, like the liver and the kidneys, so that it helps with emotions and things like that. So it directs the stimulation normally created in the asana portion of the practice deeper than the superficial or muscular tissues, which are called like the yang tissues. So yin yoga targets the connective tissues, such as the ligaments, the bones, and even the joints of the body that are normally not exercised very much in a more active style of asana. But is it dangerous to exercise our joints? Yes and no. So it depends on how we do it. We can exercise our joints safely if we do so intelligently. If it's done incorrectly, we can definitely hurt ourselves. But we can say that about any sort of form of exercise. So as you know, it's not yoga that can hurt you. It's the way you practice. So it's suitable for all levels of students, and it's a perfect complement. So it's about not going, oh yeah, I found yin, I'm not going to practice anything else. You should have a yang practice too if you find yin too. If you just practice yin, you're going to become more kathic and tamasic. If you're doing too much ashtanga, moving about and not doing enough and not doing very much shavasana and meditation, yeah, you're going to be too much rajasic, maybe end up with a vata imbalance. So it complements the other types of yoga. So yin yoga is the other half that works the deeper tissues of the body, and it's just the beginning of defining what yin yoga is about. Okay, so it's just really about practice, like it helps to give you that understanding of the yin and the yang of life. So I think actually, instead of speaking you through it, I think let's just do it. So I've told you what the aim is. You're just going to find your edge and let go. Be okay with the discomfort. Teaches you to be okay with discomfort off the mat too. If it's painful, if anything's painful, you can find some pillows and prop yourself up or move. So it's not about the shape, and it's about letting go of any tension and connecting with the breath but not controlling it. So there's no ujjayi, okay? So we're starting off by just connecting with our breath. So sitting in a cross-legged position, shoulders are back and down. Close the eyes, and then just begin to smooth out the breath. So we're just going to work with samavriti, so you're breathing into the count of 4 and breathing out to the count of 4. Just really, so we are controlling the breath right at the beginning here because we're settling into where we are. So letting go of the breath, keeping the eyes closed. Bring your awareness where your mind is today, where the gunas, where's your emotions today, your body. Any places where it feels stagnant and heavy, any places of lightness and brightness. Just know to bring acceptance into your practice, into your life. So we're going to begin with the first pose of the day. So remember, you're 3 minutes for each one, but I'm going to be doing the timing, so don't worry. So you're placing your feet together into Baddha Konasana. So this is the difference with yin and the yang styles. If I was teaching cobbler's pose to move forwards, I would be teaching you to keep the spine long, keep the chin tucked into Jalandhar Bandha, to keep everything in line, and to really work with the breath here. But in this pose, what we're doing is it's okay to round the back. So you're taking your arms out in front of you, and it doesn't matter if you don't go far. So you're finding your edge, rounding the back. But if you've got neck issues, like myself, it's not cheating to have a slight Jalandhar Bandha, a slight tuck of the chin to protect your neck. So listen into your body, finding your edge to move into it, because you're going to be in here for a few minutes. You make sure you're not going into it in pain. Go into it, find that edge, and once you've made that decision on the edge, you're not going to wriggle about and try and adjust and move. That's, you made your decision, you're going to stay there, and you're just going to breathe. So if any thoughts, emotions come to you, you're going to accept them and set them free. So they might start really throwing themselves at you. But every time a thought or emotion comes to you, just accept it, set it free. Don't allow it to become a tangent, a story. Don't allow your head to be busy. Be aware of your breath. Just be aware of letting go. And it's perfectly normal to feel discomfort in the inner groin, the knees, the ankles, and even the shoulders or the spine. It's where you're at. Discomfort is normal. Pain isn't. There'll be times I'm going to not speak, just allow you to have time in your own head. So don't worry if the connection's not gone on the internet. I'm just allowing you to have that time. You're going to inhale, slowly coming back up. And something that you do in yin yoga is you come back to cross-legged position. You don't come back to cross-legged position. It's about the rebound. So after each pose, bring awareness into the sensations in the body. It's called the rebound. So that juiciness felt in your joints. Any differences in the mind, the breath. So just feeling the rebound. And then we're moving into the next posture. So that, the Baddha Konasana, it's not called Baddha Konasana. They don't use Sanskrit. It's women called Sarah Powers that created yin yoga. And Paul Grilly is a huge part of it as well. He's an amazing yogi and anatomy specialist. But so it's all in English. So I found it really, find that more difficult to learn. In fact, I'm used to Sanskrit. So the Baddha Konasana is the butterfly. So this next one is called the dragonfly. But what we would call it in our lineage would be Upavista Konasana, upward facing angle. So the thing is with dragonfly is normally with Upavista Konasana we would be lengthening up through the spine, we would be flexing our feet towards us. Now because it's yin, the feet can come out in any way that feels comfortable, okay? And we're going to fold over the right leg first and stay there for 3 minutes. And then listen to the rebound. We're going to do the other side. So when you're staying in it, we're going to find that edge again. So it's okay because it's not, we're not doing a yang practice. It's okay to really just bet. As long as you're not holding tension, it's okay to round your back. As long as you're relaxing your jaw, your shoulders. So all you're doing is leaning over your right leg. And if you're far away from that leg, I'm pretty far away today. I'm feeling tight today. And that's the thing, and just go with that. Be okay with where you are. But once you've moved into your edge again, you're staying there. So close your eyes. It's okay to close your eyes. A lot of yoga practice, they tell you to keep your eyes open and find a drishti point. So really bring awareness. So there's a lot of, you're still in that external world. With yin, you're really going inwards here. So close your eyes and be okay with where you are. And just be aware of your breath. Be the observer with your breath. And you're not controlling the breath, but you're being aware of it. So being the curious observer. Try not to let your mind wander. And again, I'm going to let you have that time to just be. Inhaling, coming back up. So just staying in the center, being aware of any differences in the body, coming into the rebound. Sure your jaw is relaxed. And then we're going to the other side. So find your edge. Just make any movements you need to. You're not flexing the feet. There's nothing you need to do or be. If you're rounding your back, that's okay. So it's about getting into your edge, not worrying about what you look like. Your shape is completely irrelevant. Everyone's shape is going to be different. Just observe the breath. Inhaling to come all the way back up, listening to the rebound. Your body, the parasympathetic system might have started to kick in, so you start to feel that sense of peace. Don't worry if you don't. So the next part, you're going to come down the middle now. So again, don't worry about your shape. Move into where you are. Find your edge. There's no tension. And then find your breath. So you're not practicing Ujjayi breaths. If you're used to that type of yoga, I find that's one of the more difficult things for me, is the letting go of controlling the breath. Coming all the way back up, coming into cross-legged position. Listening to the rebound. Where's your body at now? Some juicy things going on now, yeah? Okay, so we're moving on to our bellies now. So we're working with a pose called the Sphinx. So the Sphinx, you're doing, it's coming up. So it doesn't matter what the alignment, so if you want to have your legs apart, the legs together, where's your body telling you you feel comfortable with just now? So again, where do you feel you're comfortable with, where your elbows are? And all you're doing here is you can close your eyes now, and we're staying here for 3 minutes. And when you first come into the Sphinx, since you're not raising your head, you're just looking forwards, shoulders are relaxed, breathing into it. When you first come into it, it's like, oh, this is really easy. You start to be aware the muscles working in your lower back. You'll be aware that you're holding tension in your bottom and let that go. Remember, the gluteus maximus muscles are the largest muscles in the body. We don't realize that we hold so much tension there. So there should not be any tension in the body. And you're letting go and being okay with where you're at. Okay, from here, you're moving into balasana, child's pose. And you can either take your arms over your head, take your arms down to your side. You can have your legs together, your legs apart. Find your edge, find your comfort zone. And we're staying here for 3 minutes. From here, place your hands either side of your head. And then we're moving into seal pose. So this is when I teach children, they go and I'll teach them Bhujangasana, the cobra pose. They'll go, no, that's a seal. And it's because their mums practice yin. And I used to always wonder, what are you going on about? You know, I've been teaching children since 2003, and they used to go, no, it's a seal. Where's the seal come into things? So seal is yin yoga, okay? So depending on what your back is feeling and where you're at today, the seal is coming up. Your hands could be far away from you. That gives you less of a stretch on your back, and it stretches it's like more the solar plexus area. The closer you bring your hands to your body, the bigger the back bend. Now, remember, this isn't a yang class. You're not trying to stretch. You're trying to open up and work with the joints in your body. So find your edge. Do your hands want to be away from you? Do they want to come a bit closer? Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. I've got a bony bit at the front here, so that's something that I find I've got to let go of in my yin class. So it's just like finding your edge, moving into where your edge is, and then resigning yourself to not wriggle, not move, breathe, because again, we're going to be here for 3 minutes. Make sure you're not holding tension in your bottoms. See, everyone says that yin's so easy. I don't want to do that. It's so easy. If you're used to moving, not used to staying in postures for a long time, it can sometimes be one of the most difficult classes. Then from here, slowly coming down. And again, we're moving into child's pose. Do it mindfully, because your back is really starting to speak to you. And you notice it's different with yin and kundalini compared to hatha yoga. You're opening up the back and closing it off and opening up. It is different, and you're working with meridians here. So you can take your arms over your head, arms down your side. Where does your body want to go here? Listen to the rebound in your child's pose. And remember, you're not checking out, you're checking in here. So you're not disassociating, you're not spacing out, you're being aware, you're being present, you're with your breath, you're with your body, you're observing the sensations, observing the thoughts, observing the breath, but not being attached to them, not allowing any stories, Slowly coming up. I'm going to move into cross-legged position. Again, just check in with yourself. Shoulders back and down. Listen to your breath. Come into your heart center. So now you're going to take your right leg out. We're going to move into, it's called half shoelace pose. So the left leg's coming over. Okay, so it's as if you're about to come into Gomukhasana, cow space. And again, you don't have to flex that right foot towards you. Find where your feet feel comfortable, the position of your feet. And then all you're doing here, again, is coming forward. So it's okay to round your back. There's just, as long as there's no tension, so moving forward, finding your breath, finding your edge, and let go. Inhaling to slowly come back up. Coming into cross-legged position. Again, listening to the rebound. Lots of lovely things happening in that hip area. This is working with Svadhisthana chakra as well, which is our emotions. Okay. So now you're going to take your left leg out. And then take your right leg over. So again, find what feels comfortable for you. You're not flexing anything, everything's relaxed. And once you've found that heart of you, you're coming forwards. Find your edge and relax and be into it. So again, if you've got neck issues, don't remember your head's like so heavy, it's like a big bowling ball. You don't want to be hanging out and be putting any pressure there. So I normally have a slight Jadandhara bandha and my chin slightly tucked in, and that just helps protect my neck and stop with any pain there. Be where you're at. Everyone's bodies are different. Once you've found your edge, resign yourself to stay there. Inhaling, slowly come back up. Okay, coming back into cross-legged position again, listening to the rebound. Okay, so with awareness, you're going to take this right leg back. So this is called the saddle pose here. The left leg's out behind, out in front of you. Actually, let's do the other side. You've already had your left leg out. Let's balance it out. Take your right leg out behind you. Take your left leg back. Makes it a bit more balanced. So we can do this in stages, and this is where some people, if they want to use cushions, because with your living rooms, you can put cushions behind you. With yin, they really do want you to like use gravity and in your body to open up. So you can either just stay here and breathe, or you can put, if your knees are saying something to you, because I'm aware that some people's internal rotations aren't so great, or they've got ankle or knee issues, they can put blocks or cushions underneath your bottom. Okay, if that's your edge, that's your edge. Okay, or you're going to come down onto your elbows, and if that's your edge, that's your edge. Or some of you might want to come all the way back down. So this is like the half, it's like the half saddle, but in our type of yoga, or a hatha yoga, this is Ardha Supta Virasana. So Ardha means half, Supta means reclined, and Virasana means it's the hero pose. So this is the hero pose. So find where you want to put your arms. I like to take my arms kind of over my head and open them up a little bit. So find your edge, where you're at in this pose. And again, it doesn't matter if your knees lifted off, you're not flexing that right foot, you're letting go and being okay with where you're at. Being aware of your belly rising and falling. Okay, so from where you are, slowly allow yourself to come up. You're going to come up onto that left knee. Step forward with your right foot. Coming into, they call it the dragon pose. Take your hands to the inside of that foot and just allow yourself to stretch out that psoas in the left psoas muscle. So breathe into that. So this is it's a really nice counter to pose for what we've just done. So relax your jaw and shoulders, breathe into it. Slowly coming out of this and moving into cross-legged position. Listening to your rebound again. There's lots of joyfulness going on in our hip area. Take that left leg out in front of you. We're going to do the other side. So with awareness, take that right leg back. And there's not going to be any yin police coming to get you if you want to put blocks or cushions underneath your bottom. So I'd rather you kept your knees safe. So you're either staying here, if this is your edge, that's okay. You're just going to stay here and close your eyes. Or you can come down to your elbows. And if that's your edge, you stay here, close your eyes and breathe. Or some of you might want to come back. If you're happy with your arms under your side, that's fine. But find what makes you feel comfortable, knowing it's okay for that left foot to flop out. It's okay for that right knee to be off the ground. There will be discomfort somewhere as long as there's not searing pain. If there's searing pain, you need to move. Sometimes if it's like you could move your foot, your right foot out a little bit more so it's not so tucked in or close to your hip. So before you find your edge, move into where it feels okay for you. And then resign yourself to just be and let go. It's a great way for us moving into the Monday's full moon. So full moons are about forgiveness, letting go. It's about being grateful for what you have also. It's really like looking back to what we manifested in the last new moon. What worked, what didn't work, what do we need to let go of, what do we need to clear out, what to be grateful for, so then we can really move forwards and be clear for the next new moon. It's a great way of allowing ourselves to let go and be grateful. Okay, so from where you're at, slowly allow yourself to come up. Coming up onto your right knee. Dipping your hips, coming forwards. Your hands to the inside of the foot, walk the foot out a little bit. Relax your jaw and shoulders. And just find your edge and be. It really stretches out that right psoas muscle. So really working with the second chakra today as well. So joy in life, or creativity, or sexuality, or one-to-one relationships, or emotions. It's the color orange. Inhaling to come back up. And then coming into cross-legged position, listening to that rebound again. You might even find, sometimes you find if you're doing yin yoga near the end, you start getting an aching jaw. And that's sometimes because you hold so much tension in that area. You don't realize how much tension you hold there until you really let go. And that's like you're letting go, and all of a sudden, oh. I just remember when I first started practicing yoga, that was something that I used to come away with and like, oh, why does yoga give you a sore jaw? And it was my teacher was like, it's because you're used to holding tension in your jaw. I was like, okay. So from here, you're going to lie on your backs. And then pull that left knee in towards you. You're going to drop the left knee down to the right. You can have that right hand on the top, so it doesn't matter if your hips come off the ground. Take that left arm up over your head if you want to, or down by your side. You actually get more of a nice stretch. And again, it's not if your shoulders are off, your hips are off. Find where you want to look as well. So it doesn't matter about your shape. Find your edge and then let go and be. From here, come back to center. Pull your knees in. Give yourself a hug for Apanasana. Check in with the rebound. And stretch out that left leg. Drop the right knee down towards the left. Figure out where you're putting that right arm. I like to put it above my head to give myself even more of a stretch. Figure out where you're going to look, where you're going to rest your left hand. Find that edge. And then stay still, let go. Just be accepting of where you are. Inhaling, coming back up to center. Draw your knees up to your belly for Apanasana again. Just feeling that rebound. And put one last pose before Shavasana. We're coming into Happy Baby. So you can choose whether you take your hands to the outside of your feet or to the inside. It depends what you feel your body needs today. And once you've found where you're at, you're staying there. And you're going to release yourself down into Shavasana. So just because you've done lots of holds in yin, you never miss out Shavasana. Shavasana allows all the energy to marinate. So sinking down, letting go. Allowing your body to settle into where it is. So starting to bring your awareness back into the room, back into where your body's lying on the floor. You could begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Stretch your arms over your head, away from your body. Stretch your feet away from your body. Pull your knees in and give yourselves a wee hug. Rolling from side to side. And then roll onto your right side into recovery position and just stay there. And then gently push yourselves up to seated position. So we're going to work with the pranayama, moving into a meditation. So because we're trying to be nurtured, we're going to work with a calming, nurturing pranayama. The meditation we're going to work with is for vyana vayu, which is actually uplifting. Well, it actually allows you to really work with energy in a big way, but keeping like culminating our internal energy and really getting it to feel strong and stable and calm. But we don't want to feel really the rest of the day. So the meditation is going to uplift you, but it's also really, we're mobilizing prana in our heart center. Okay, so the pranayama we're working with is chandra bhedana. So part of Vajrayana yoga practice is working with specific techniques of breathing, or you figure out which nostril is the dominant nostril when you first wake up. That's the if it's the left side, you would step out of bed on the left foot that day. It's really about harnessing the prana using the breath, or working with the breath. So we're going to harness the prana by working with the breath. If you want to bring energy in and activation into your life, or into your body, you would work with surya bhedana. So that's breathing through the right nostril. But we want to work with the moon, and we want to be calm, and we want to feel relaxed. So we're working with chandra bhedana, and it is breathing through the left nostril. So all you're going to do is block off that right nostril. Shoulders are back and down. And there is some more techniques that are more technical, but it's just as simple and effective just now to really just work with blocking off that right nostril and breathing slowly, deeply and smoothly through the left. Coming back to normal breath, placing your hands down to your knees. Keep your eyes closed. Start to bring your awareness to your heart center. Bring your hands in together in Anjali Mudra. And the eyes closed. And what you're doing is you're going to inhale, take the arms wide. So you can open your eyes if you like, just to see what I'm doing here. Inhale, take the arms wide with upturned palms. So you're kind of slightly flexed elbows. So you're lifting the chin a little as well, because you're really bringing awareness into the heart today. So inhale, hold the breath in without strain, and sense energy expanding out in all directions. As you exhale, bring the hands back in. So it's inhale, hold the breath, and really imagine that you're so much energy coming out, expanding around the edges of your body. And as you exhale, so close your eyes and keep working with this breathing technique. Holding the breath in and really allowing the energy to come out and round the edges of your body. Now in the next few rounds, when you breathe in and hold, you're going to sense the energy moving out into the space around your body. So it's not just the edges, it's the space around your body, your aura. And then finally, with every inhalation and the hold, you're going to sense the energy expanding out to the edges of time and space, to the edge of the universe, sensing there's nowhere your energy and consciousness cannot reach. Place your hands down, keeping your eyes closed. You're going to see or feel or sense an orange disc or a wheel in the center of your chest, spinning in a clockwise direction, sending out orange light in all directions, filling your body, the space around your body, and the entire universe. So the disc isn't spinning horizontally like a chakra. Think of it more like a spinning emblem of light on your chest facing outwards. So really feel the spinning orange disc in your heart center, moving out into the universe, filling your whole body. So after connecting with this expansive energy, to bring your awareness into Ajna, Agni Chakra, your third eye. You almost feel a pulse going from your third eye to your midbrain with the breath. And ask the universe, is there anything that you need to know? Come to you as a thought, feeling, emotion. Nothing comes to you, that's okay. Your color. And you're going to come back to your breath. Be aware of the sensations on your skin, or your body sitting on the floor. And then, when you're ready, you're going to open your eyes. Place your hands in Anjali Mudra. And we're going to end our session with an Om. Okay, here we go. Om. Namaste. Thank you for practicing yoga with me this morning. So, has anyone got any questions?